Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game number 1 in a series between Sonic and Hawk. Sonic spawning as the yellow night elf on the top left hand side of the map under the name 123456789 12345. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom right we have Hawk spawning as the light blue human. Most likely I will be referring to them as human versus night elf throughout the rest of the matchup because WarCraft 3 players tend to change their names. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about what's going to be happening in game number 1 in this series. It is a best of 3 series, first of all, we'll get that out of the way, and it is the Night Elf versus Human matchup. Now, Night Elf versus Human, I am expecting a Demon Hunter, but we have seen a lot of Wardens come out as of late. The Wardens do have a strong ability at shutting down expansions, and expansions are perhaps one of the best abilities or the best mechanics that human players can use and abuse. The fact that they can speed build their town hall and have some of the strongest towers in the game make it very, very difficult for a Night Elf player to try and shut that down. Now, however, by going for a Warden, that means that the Archmage is going to have significantly more water elementals. More mana equals more water elementals, and more water elementals means big issues for the Night Elf. A lot of Night Elf units have little to no armor, unarmored armor types, the Dryads, the Huntresses, and because of that, piercing damage does add up. On top of that, any sort of casters, say the Druids of the Talon, are also going to be light armored, and they also take a bit more damage from the piercing damage type as well. So that is one of the reasons why so often, or for so long, the water elementals were countered by the Demon Hunter. Now, a lot of players have recently figured out that it is not the water elementals that are giving them problems, it is the additional economy that a human player is able to generate. Warden with Fan of Knives, Shadow Strike, and Blink are able to effectively take down expansions before they can really start paying for themselves. That causes an overall negative net reaction, or negative gold interaction, and whenever you have a negative gold interaction overall, you are going to be ahead up in units. Now, what is happening across over here, Archmage using that Cloak of Shadows, hiding for just a moment, but now looking to clear out this Mud Golem creep camp. I am surprised that the Night Elf player is allowing him to do exactly that. The creep camp is very, very important, and what we're going to be looking at, Tome of Agility now being dropped down. Let's take a look at that. Oh, did he come in and just abolish magic, that water elemental? I believe so, and by doing so may have gotten that experience. Very, very well played there. Are we going to see perhaps some items being sold back as the Archer is going to finish off this creep camp? Now, what we are looking at is a tech to Tree of Ages, and we should be looking at dual Ancients of Lore. Ancients of Lore, very, very powerful, very strong because of those Dryads. Dryads are significant, or are very strong units in this matchup because of that abolished magic. More importantly so is because there is no Demon Hunter, we should be looking at more and more water elementals. However, their effectiveness does start to fall off after the Archmage hits level 3, and furthermore after the Archmage hits level 5. Level 3 water elementals are very difficult to abolish magic, and yes, the damage is straight up a large amount, but then again, you want to try and save some of that mana for anything that your opponent may try and come back and throw at you. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at this. It looks as though the Ancient of War will get taken down, but it will be at the cost of a Forest Troll Berserker. Not quite sure who has the benefit there, as the Archmage looks to finish off a Wisp, and it does not do so, able to get the detonation off just in time. Now, Archmage is going to be coming across inside here. Wand of Mana Stealing has a charge left. There is a level 2 water elemental, and this is going to be a very, very critical time. Night Elf players are at Tree of Ages, but unfortunately for him, does not have any Dryads as of yet. You can see the detonations were trying to come, but did not happen in time once again, as we could be looking at, well, more and more units coming across. All right, there was another Wand of Mana Stealing charge being used there, and that Warden is now down to only 133 mana. Reveal now being used, as well as the Archmage now hurrying away. However, you do know that they're, oh, beautiful, beautiful, knowing that the Archmage can just run away right there whenever he wants to, and because of that Shadow Strike, oh, another Shadow Strike. This is going to be death for the Archmage. There it goes. It could not use Scroll of Town Portal because the Shadow Strike lingers past the Scroll of Town Portal, as you know. And all you would have had is a dead Archmage in your base rather than the dead Archmage sitting right off over here. Now, as we look at the Shadow Strike of that Warden, still very, very strong, I am surprised to see that the human player has not set up an expansion. Yes, we know that there is one low hit point or footman right there who was just hanging around, not doing very much. Archmage was resurrected at the tavern, and although it may not make economic sense to try and train up that Archmage back at the tavern, because of the Scroll of Regeneration and the Brilliance Aura on the Archmage, it does allow for a little bit faster regeneration there. Now, we are checking the keep now, and so far, I gotta say the human player is significantly behind. He is behind in tech, he's lost his hero once, and his army just seems a little bit weaker. 28 over 48 supply compared to, wait, 21 over 40. What exactly is the Night Elf player spending all of his resources on as well? This is a rather strange matchup, but the Warden is sitting at level 4, so hero level, making a very big difference in this fight, as this Footman is already down to 61 hit points. He may end up falling to that his own Shadow Strike. All right, let's take a look at that. Footman is going to end up getting taken down. Yes, there he goes. However, the Footman doing some brotherly love, apparently, by killing off his own brethren who was about to die anyways. Now, as things do continue to move forward, the Warden does have a good amount of mana and can continue to pester. The fact that a human player does not have an expansion is a very, very big deal. Now, as things are unfolding here, the Warden is going to try and fight back and try and pressure and keep the human player inside his base. As long as the human player is inside his base, he cannot set up an expansion. And by not setting up an expansion, he's going to have some troubles of his own. Now, a couple of key things to note. How does the Night Elf player know so well that the human player doesn't have an expansion? Well, if you take a look at the items on that Archmage, Ring of Protection +2, Cloak of Shadows, you know that he has so far not picked up anything that is dropped over by this gold mine here. Yes, he could have possibly sold it as well, but the Warden has been keeping track of that expansion location pretty well, as another Shadow Strike does go down. Warden now being forced to retreat, as the Blood Mage, using a very popular mana battery strategy, is going to continue to cause more issues. All right, Blood Mage already down to 209 hit points. Perhaps he wishes he has Mana Shield at this point. He does not, and things are going to go from bad to worse. All right, there is the Shadow Strike, and oh, that damage is now coming in. Blood Mage taking a lot of damage so far. Is it going to end up getting... No, wait. How did it end up getting healed? Yes, the Priest was there. Staff of Teleportation. Is it going to be enough? Warden could get taken down, but no. Goes all the way back home, happy and healthy, as he uses a Clarity Potion to get back more mana. All right, let's take a look at this over here. Supply count 37 over 40 compared to 41 over 42. We are taking the Tree of Eternity, which is extremely important as well. Tree of Eternity will allow for the Bears and Dryads, the very, very strong combination of units in Night Elf versus Human. Even though the human player doesn't have the economic advantage, because he doesn't have an expansion, you can see that the Warden is still trying to put in a little bit of pressure here. All right, that poor peasant is not going to see the light of day. There it is going to get taken down. There's the Blood Mage siphoning more and more mana away, and it may try and get some extra damage once again. All right, there was a quick blink, and it took a split second for his opponent to realize where exactly he was. Warden still stealing a little bit of experience. Where did it go? Right off over here, the Warden with perhaps level 2 Blink. No fan of knives. Picks up an item, but ends up getting surrounded. All right, Warden being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal. There is a rejuvenation on that Warden, as it is going to teleport back home. Warden looking very, very healthy now that that rejuvenation has gone through. The Bears are going to continue to follow. And what is the Night Elf player looking to do here? He has not been able to stop this expansion. Yeah, this expansion has been rather slow. I must admit, rather slow. But then again, if you rush the expansion and always lose at the expansion point, then perhaps you are trying to expand a bit too early. The Warden gonna be able to finish off this Renegade Wizard creep camp, finish off these Brigands, and get that much closer to level 5. Once it does, well, does get to level 5 right there. Surprised that this last Brigand wasn't taken down first. 1486 experience, as now that Warden at level 5 with a Sobi mask is going to have more than enough mana to really do some interesting plays. You saw the Tome of Retraining right there, and the only real reason to Tome of Retrain is to retrain for Fan of Knives at this point. Fan of Knives could be fairly effective, except for the fact that there are arcane towers being constructed next to the expansion. The expansion with arcane towers will eventually just burn away any mana that the Night Elf really wants to try and train up and produce. One lone bear, one lone dryad sitting in the middle portion of the field. Warden sitting at 370 mana and counting. Meanwhile, there are bears, ogre, maulers, and other units coming in across the left-hand side of the map. All right, there you go. There's the anti-magic shell, and beautifully done. The Warden is going to be able to get in some easy shots here in just a moment. Are we going to perhaps look at another Fan of Knives? There goes one unit there. It looks as though another peasant may get taken down. Yes, there it goes. But that is pretty much going to be it. That Warden now holding in position inside his opponent's base, making it nearly impossible for any harvesting to go on. Now, you can take a look. 2 additional units right there. The Dryads and the Bears do need to get away. Scroll of Town Portal teleporting everyone back home. This is a big issue. You cannot try and do hit and run tactics with Scrolls of Town Portal unless your hero, primary hero, has a Scroll of Town Portal and is nearby. All right, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability has been picked up. Where is that Warden going to be traveling to next? It wants to slow down the economy of the blue human player, but that doesn't look like it is happening just quite yet. All right, Warden looking to finish off a handful of peasants. Let's take a look. There goes another peasant. There goes one. Are we going to see more Fan of Knives? 3 dead peasants already, as the Warden just goes, yeah, sure. I'm not really that concerned. Blood Mage has siphoned a bit of mana from me, but not much else. All right, Warden running straight up inside of the base here. There is an arcane tower with arcane feedback. That is fairly important, as the Warden wants to finish off units. Warden getting very, very close to level 6, but you have to be extremely careful at this point. The main base now under pressure, as the Warden going to teleport back home. All right, what is he going to pick up? Yeah, pick up drop-off items and maybe ready in a second. Are we going to be looking at anything else? Wand of Illusion. There are a couple of bears now being thrown down, and that is going to be it. All right, Bears and Dryads now looking very, very dangerously strong. All right, there you go. There you see that siphon mana again as the Warden blinks off. There are some detonations as the Riflemen are now trying to get away once more. So far, Druid of the Claw taking a lot of damage. That Druid of the Claw needs to be microed back just to make it a bit more believable in terms of damage. So far, Footman now looking to back off here. Detonations going across. Archmage trying to fight, and this is just not looking good for the human. The human has been driving very, very much of this game so far, but is now starting to go up against the ropes. You can see that the human player does have the economic advantage, so if he can force this game to go long, it will be in his favor. But even then, he has to trade very, very effectively here in order to continue this fight. All right, still looking around. It looks as though, yes, Water Elemental will get taken down. Warden is now sitting at level 6. as the Warden is in that front line hoping to get some damage in. All right, Avatar of Vengeance coming across. Are we going to see some damage? Footman now taking some damage. Are we going to see a Rifleman take some damage? Oh, one more shot on that Rifleman. Is that going to do it? Yes, that will, in fact, do it, as the Avatar of Vengeance is going to continue this fight and bring in more units once again. So far, Avatar of Vengeance now needs to back off here. Footman chasing him. Warden, on the other hand, sitting at level 6, trying to get to level 7 now, does have rejuvenation, may be able to pick up a Mantle of Intelligence as well for extremely fast mana regeneration. Alright, there you go, picking up and dropping off intelligence items just so that they recover more mana per point of Moonwell juice. Back off over here. Bears. Ogre Mauler now looking ready to go. They are looking to back off from what could be a very, very nasty fight. Rifleman, Archmage, Blood Mage now coming down the road here as we're looking at where these twos are perhaps going. Alright, there is an Avatar Vengeance. Avatar Vengeance absolutely destroying the Arcane Tower, taking a bit of damage while at it. 346 mana left to go. Let's take a look at also Footman now looking to engage against this Ancient of Wonders. Ancient of Wonder perhaps should have been taken out much, much earlier, as a majority of the tech relied from Ancients of Wonder have made their way through the game. Alright, Rifleman continuing to fire pop shots against the Night Elf base. Night Elf base in serious trouble now, trying to hold on and fight back here. This is still not looking good, as the human player is just perhaps going to be able to A-walk into this base without many concerns. Now the expansion is down over here, but it is being completely ignored as the Avatar of Vengeance has finished off his opponent's expansion. Avatar of Vengeance should be ready to go here in any moment.
The town is under siege.
It looks like that will be the case. Oh, nope, there's a slow, there's the Avatar, there's the blink. And we see now that the Water Elementals are once again excited and elated to try and get some damage there. Alright, Bears now doing a bit of a bearish run onto the main base. If the keep does get taken down, that does mean that... Well, if the keep gets taken down, that's going to be a big blow. No more mining at this expansion, and we all know how incredibly important gold is at this point. All right, Peasants now looking to engage again. All right, there you have it. It looks as though, yes, the one base has been cleared out. There is still, no, not even a base over here any longer. So light blue.
A town is under siege.
Light blue is in a little bit of trouble. He needs to shut down his opponent's expansion without losing his main base as well. All right, let's see, where are we going to be going next? Peasants now running away. This is still not good. Drew to the Claw going to get in one more shot. There it goes. Water Elementals looking to pop shot down this Tree of Life. Expansion is no longer mining up anything else, as the Bears now make their way off to the Bear and the Peasants now make their way off to the north.
A town is under siege.
All right. Bear is looking to finish off this Altar of Kings. Meanwhile, back across over here. Well, nope, nothing really to see there, as we're looking at the Sorceress now and the Priest trying to finish off this expansion, and it may just turn into a flat-up base race. The additional gold from off over here is causing a bit of... well, no more additional gold. This amount of gold that has been harvested from the main bases have really been the telling sign, even though the blue human player had to suffer much more focus in terms of the early workers. It doesn't look like that will continue to be the case, as down goes the expansion or the main base here, and now that is pretty much all that is left is the main base here, and well, a couple of towers there, and maybe this one as well. Bear is looking to tear apart this expansion, and it looks like that is going to end up being it. Look Around has already left the game. I didn't see a GG though, but oh no, Revealing has left the game. So Revealing has left the game. Look Around is still sitting comfortably, not letting his opponent know where exactly he is. Water Elemental, Blood Mage, Sorceress, Priest. Looks like a very, very nasty combination of units that are making their way out, and I believe that will end up being the game. Yes, that is the game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 1. Please stay tuned for Game number 2.